both of us dancing. Like, not with each other, but like, come on, with some music playing in the background. I don't know, some hippie chick music. We can do the hippie chick dance. Okay, maybe not. You know he's gonna leave that in.
Notice I'm not responding or reacting because I know he's gonna leave it in if I do.
Some of us have no shame.
Some of us should have a little shame.
Yeah, I'll be 50 this year. When I turn 50, then the shame will kick in. Okay, maybe not. Maybe then I will take it to another level of not caring what people think.
You do know I've got a direct contact with your wife who goes, when he gets overboard, call me and I'll straighten him up.
Excellent. So what's the topic today, Joshua?
We didn't even start. This is going to get left in.
He's
you
gonna
know
keep
it's going to
all
left
that.
in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We're here for your entertainment as well as informative information.
Not only do we have good information, we have stupid information.
Yes, sir.
Do we want to start an actual intro?
Sure.
All right. Welcome, Spraylock Nation, to another glorious day here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We got our tomfoolery going on this morning, apparently, or this afternoon, or evening, depending on what time zone you're in, I guess.
We have fun with what we do.
Well, might as well. If you don't, what's the point of coming in?
Yep. Vulcan nerve pinch.
Where's HR? I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that.
Okay, well.
So, today.
It doesn't really work, Josh.
We're going to wrestle later. So, in the concrete industry, I know we're running this phenomenon that some people might not even realize is even out there, which is a sand shortage. Because you start looking at the deserts we have, the beaches we have, somebody's going, we have sand shortage?
Yeah.
But not all sands are created equal.
That's a fact.
And I mean, in your time, how many different sand quarries were you using, from river to mountain sand to everything else, trying to get that wonderful, and even the blue sands, as some people like to call them, for manufactured sand? But
sure, yeah, there was a half a dozen to 8 sand sources that I kept up with in the tri-state area, North Georgia, Chattanooga, Alabama area, that we hauled from.
Right.
The concrete sand sources now, that was 25 years ago when I was doing that, or 20 years ago.
That's because you're old.
I know.
I'm telling you. You don't look a day over 70.
The ASTM C33 concrete sands with the particle sizing that's required there, as well as the lack of organics and some other things that are required, are becoming shorter and shorter in supply. And in fact, I was interviewed a couple of years ago for a publication where the publication was discussing the sand shortage and what can we do about it.
Right.
At the time, the main thing is there's a lot more crushed manufactured sands being used now than there was 25, 30 years ago because of this.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned it, and I understand it, but a lot of artists probably doesn't. But when you get a natural sand, such as a river sand or mountain sand, versus a manufactured sand where it's going through crushing,
Yep.
there are differences.
Yes.
Even though the sizes are the same.
Yes.
But with those differences, such as angularity versus rounded shapes,
Yeah.
from a concrete standpoint, what is that doing with the concrete, and how does the finisher appreciate the use of natural sands versus a manufactured sand?
Yeah. So that's a great question. The natural materials, the materials like the river sands, are reduced to that size through natural erosion processes that include some tumbling action in the bottom of a riverbed that will produce nice rounded shapes.
Right.
And those nice rounded shapes are what concrete likes, because it's able to help the concrete move when it's in the fresh state, when you have those nice rounded shapes. Well, what happens with crushed manufactured sand, whether it's a limestone, granite, or other material, is the crushing action causes these particles to be formed in the shape of shards in a lot of ways. So little angular pieces, especially in the number 4, number 8 size, that range you get.
So a round wheel versus a square wheel, and trying to get movement on it.
Exactly.
One's going to roll a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So your concrete will flow a little bit better.
So the immediate impact of that can be water demand. So if you have concrete that needs to be placed on a 4-inch slump, or let's just make it more realistic, a 6-inch slump, then to get to that 6-inch slump may take 32 gallons of water a yard with a rounded material. But if you've got an angular aggregate particle, fine aggregate particle, the sand is trying to fit together like that in the concrete mix. It might take a gallon or even 2 to 3 gallons more per cubic yard to get that same movement or workability out of the concrete. And pumpability is a whole different story. It's very difficult to pump some of those coarse angular graded mixes.
So in your mix, is there anything else that angularity and coverage affect when you have a manufactured sand versus a rounded natural sand?
Yeah, so it can also affect air entrainment for sure. So if air entrainment's used in exterior concrete to resist the effects of freezing and thawing, and if you have a sharp angular particle in your sand fraction of the mix, you can have to use more of the air entrainment to get the same percent air in the concrete. There are some other impacts, or you could have some interesting strength things going on. You may get higher strengths at a given water content out of the angular sand because it is surface area wise, you've got a lot of places for that cement to grab a hold of.
Right.
However, because of the water demand issues associated with it, if you don't account for those, you can end up impacting your strength negatively by having to have more water to get a given slump.
Or you're going to add more cement to...
Right, exactly.
Because you got more surface area, you need more cement to contact that, which if you add more water, you got to add more cement, or if you keep your water down to get around that surface area, you're adding more cement, which from a sustainability standpoint isn't really what you're looking for either.
Exactly.
Right now, with the industry going the way it is and trying to get cement down, the type 1Ls, that's something else to consider. So if you're getting this, and we know the sand shortage is coming, what things can come out that would make it easier on everybody, keep sustainability in there, keep our strengths there, keep our durability up?
So one great way to address the issue is by using an integral colloidal silica like Amorpha in the mix to give you that additional workability. Imagine billions and billions of tiny ball bearings in your concrete mix. These nano silica particles are tiny and spherical shaped in general, and they're going to allow that movement of concrete to be improved with an angular aggregate source.
Which goes back to the VMA video that we did as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So that's really, that's one of the big things. There's other things on the market that can help for sure, but we'd love to have a shot at improving your concrete mixes and how they're behaving in the field. Your finishers are going to love it, especially if you're sending them a harsh mix and you need some improvement, or if you're trying to use sort of a harsh mix in a precast situation, either one. Those mixes can really show some nice improvement with an integral colloidal silica.
If you got any questions, just hit us up on YouTube, the video, comment, like, subscribe, and let us know if you got anything. Thank you.